Faith a lie that keeps you poor fay you were trained, since childhood, to believe that struggle equals progress. That's why your manifestations stall, the very moment you try harder. What if the universe ignores effort and only answers coherence? What if every sleepless night, every desperate affirmation, every exhausting ritual was never necessary at all? Because here's the shocker: your first aligned thought was enough. That tiny spark of certainty, that moment you felt it real, already sent the signal. Everything you added after that, the repeating, the doubting, the forcing, may have only been jamming your frequency. Stay with me for the next 30 seconds, and I'll prove why the harder you try, the further it slips away, and why the moment you simplify, life begins to rearrange itself around you. From the very beginning, you were programmed with one story: nothing valuable comes without sacrifice. Study harder, push further, work longer, and maybe one day you'll deserve a reward. That story didn't just shape your schooling, it shaped your soul. It seeped into how you love, how you work, and now even how you try to manifest. They chase signs from the universe as if the universe is hiding. They visualize until their eyes ache, all because they secretly believe one thing: if it isn't hard, it can't be real. But think about it. If manifestation is truly quantum, if it lives in the same laws that govern every atom, why would it demand exhaustion? Why would the field of infinite possibility require struggle when its very foundation is harmony, resonance, and balance? Here is the truth most people miss. Manifestation is not complicated at all. It is so simple that your rational mind rejects it, and that rejection, that disbelief in simplicity, is the very block that keeps you looping in lack. Imagine a radio. To hear your favorite song, you don't rebuild the station. You don't beg the music to play. You don't shout the lyrics 100 times until it arrives. You simply tune, and the moment you land on the right frequency, the music is already there. The station was broadcasting all along, whether you struggled or not. This is exactly how the quantum field works. All possible realities are already broadcasting. Every version of you already exists. You don't create them from scratch. You don't fight for them. You tune into them. But here's the twist. Because you were trained to believe results come from struggle, you overlook the simplicity of tuning. You keep spinning the dial endlessly, never resting long enough to hear the song. And so your dream feels distant, when in truth, it was always one frequency away. Science has already, in quantum mechanics, the double-slit experiment revealed something that shattered logic. Reality doesn't collapse into form until it is observed. That means potentiality is everywhere. Always, endless possibilities exist in every moment. Nothing is fixed until consciousness enters the field. Manifestation is not about forcing reality into existence. It's about aligning yourself so that reality has no choice but to reveal the outcome you are already embodying. But here's where most people get stuck. They affirm. But with doubt, they visualize. But with impatience, they take action. But from fear. And all of this noise, the universe is never confused. It simply mirrors back exactly what you are broadcasting. Confusion, doubt, lack. The problem is not that manifestation doesn't work. The problem is that people make it far more complicated than it truly is. A woman once told me she had been trying to manifest a new job for over 2 years. She made vision boards. She repeated affirmations every morning and every night. She scripted her ideal work life into journals, filling page after page. She visualized with such intensity that it left her exhausted. And yet, nothing changed. Why? Because every single one of those actions was carrying the same hidden vibration. They don't have it yet. The harder she tried, the louder her signal of absence became. Every affirmation whispered lack. Every vision board screamed distance. Every visualization confirmed the truth she didn't want to face. She was still waiting. But here's what changed everything. One morning she stopped. She decided to act as if it was already done. She woke up, dressed herself as though it was her first day at the new job, and carried herself through the day with certainty. Within 2 weeks, an opportunity she never expected appeared. Her reality shifted not because the outside world suddenly rearranged itself, but because her vibration did. She stopped broadcasting lack and tuned directly into fulfillment. Coherence is the missing key. It is when your thoughts, your emotions, and your body are no longer contradicting each other. When you say, "Faye, I'm abundant," "Faye, but feel anxiety in your chest." Your signal is fragmented. When you visualize wealth, but check your bank account with dread. Your frequency is incoherent. When you affirm love, but carry the posture of loneliness, the field cannot lock onto your request. But when you embody simplicity, when you say it, feel it, and live it as though it is already true, your energy becomes precise. The signal stops scattering. It sharpens into clarity, and clarity is what the universe answers every single time. Because coherence means nothing inside of you is arguing anymore. It is the moment when thought, feeling, and action walk in the same direction. And in that state, manifestation doesn't just become possible. It becomes inevitable. So why do people reject this? Because the mind hates simplicity, strips the ego of its drama. The ego wants to feel like it is doing. It wants to achieve, to fight, to sacrifice, because struggle gives it identity. If things are simple, the ego feels useless, and so it resists. It convinces you that if it's not complicated, it's not real. It whispers that if you didn't bleed for it, you don't deserve it. It tricks you into believing that without the noise, without the chaos, nothing is happening. But the universe doesn't reward noise. It responds to clarity. And clarity is always simple. The irony is this: the more you complicate manifestation, the more you delay it. The more you simplify, the faster it arrives. This is the only thing you truly need to understand about quantum manifestation. Your job is not to force. It is to align, not to chase, but to embody, not to prove yourself worthy. Because once you see how simple it really is, you will never again waste your energy on rituals that keep you trapped in lack. You will never again confuse effort with power. You will never again beg for what you could simply tune into. Alignment is not a performance. It is not about saying the right words or collecting signs like trophies. It is about coherence. When your mind, your heart, and your body speak the same language. And when they do, reality has no choice but to answer. Let's clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings about manifestation. Simplicity is not Laziness. When people hear that it can be simple, their conditioned mind immediately translates it into "feso." You're saying I should just sit on the couch, do nothing, and wait for magic. Absolutely not. Simplicity does not mean the absence of action. It means aligned action. In quantum mechanics, energy always follows the path of least resistance. Rivers don't struggle to carve valleys. Electricity doesn't wrestle to find a circuit. Light doesn't argue before it travels. Energy flows where there is coherence, where there is openness, where there is resonance. And the same is true for you. Your desires are energy. They are already encoded in the quantum field. The less resistance you carry, the simpler your vibration becomes, and the faster the field mirrors that chosen reality back to you. Think about how most people approach their goals. They overthink, they overplan, they overcontrol. They say they want love, but then they micromanage. It must be this kind of person. At this exact time, under these exact circumstances, they say they want abundance, but then flood themselves with doubt. Maybe I'm not qualified. Maybe it's too late. Maybe it won't last. This isn't simplicity, it's noise. And in quantum terms, noise creates decoherence. When particles are out of sync, their waveforms cancel each other out. The result is chaos, fragmentation, wasted potential, but when they vibrate in harmony, they amplify one another into a single unified force. That's exactly what alignment feels like in your life. It's not the absence of action. It's the precision of action. It's no longer wasting energy doubting, micromanaging, or rehearsing fear. It's moving like a river, flowing exactly where the channel is open. Neville Goddard, one of the greatest teachers of manifestation, said it plainly, "You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are." That one sentence shatters the illusion most people live under, because wanting is the vibration of distance. Wanting says, it's not here yet." Wanting places your desire somewhere in the future, always out of reach. But being is different. When you are already the person who has the thing you desire, you no longer need to chase it. Your vibration naturally magnetizes it into your life. Laziness waits passively, hoping something might change. Alignment lives the frequency now. And here's the paradox. When you are truly aligned, you often do less. Not because you're lazy, but because unnecessary effort falls away. You stop wasting energy on fear. You stop micromanaging what you cannot control. You stop forcing the river. Instead, you float with it, and what you desire arrives faster, easier, and more precisely than you could have planned. Science confirms what the mystics have always known. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research has shown that when the brain and the heart are in coherence, the body generates an electromagnetic field measurable up to 9 feet away. This field doesn't just influence your body, it interacts with the quantum field itself. People who reached coherence in his studies were able to shift their biology, accelerate healing, and experience synchronicities that defied logic. The HeartMath Institute has also proven that the heart produces the strongest electromagnetic field in the body. When the heart and brain are synchronized, the signal that radiates outward becomes stable and clear. This is what coherence really is. Your mind, your emotions, and your body all saying the same thing, broadcasting one unified frequency. And when that happens, the field listens. It doesn't take years of effort. It doesn't need rituals repeated until exhaustion. It responds instantly to clarity. This is not spiritual poetry. This is measurable physics. So why is this so hard to accept? Because society has conditioned you to worship effort from the very beginning. You were told that the harder you work, the more you deserve. That suffering equals value. That sacrifice is the price of progress. And so when you hear that manifestation is simple, your mind resists. It feels wrong. It feels suspicious. It feels like cheating. But the quantum field does not care how many. It does not measure the sweat on your forehead. It does not calculate your worth by exhaustion. The field only responds to the clarity of your frequency. And clarity always looks simple. That's why spiritual masters across traditions spoke of surrender, stillness, and silence. They weren't promoting laziness. They were teaching resonance. Because when you align, when you broadcast one clear signal, life bends to meet you. Not because you struggled for it, but because you finally stopped scattering your energy. Imagine two people planting seeds. The first digs furiously, waters obsessively, checks the soil every day, even pulls it apart to see if it's sprouting yet. They worry about the sun. They stress about the rain. They never stop interfering. The second plants with care, waters gently, and then trusts the intelligence of nature to do its part. They don't uproot the soil every morning. They don't panic if the sprout isn't visible on day 3. They know growth is inevitable. Who do you think sees their garden flourish? The truth is simple. The first person's effort disrupts the process. Their constant interference introduces stress where none was needed. The second person aligns with nature's rhythm, and the garden responds in kind. This is the metaphor for your life. Simplicity is planting, aligning, and trusting. Laziness is refusing to plant at all. Effort without alignment is digging up the soil again and again. But true alignment is planting once, knowing the harvest is inevitable. Here's the shocking part. When you simplify, when you drop the noise, when you finally align, the field does the heavy lifting for you. Suddenly, opportunities appear that you didn't chase. Synchronicities guide your path in ways you could never have planned. Doors open that your effort alone could never have forced. And to the outside world, it looks like magic. It looks like luck. It looks like you were in the right place at the right time. But you know the truth. It wasn't chance. It wasn't coincidence. It was coherence. While others exhaust themselves in struggle, you are flowing with precision. While others scatter their energy in 1,000 directions, you are holding one frequency steady, and that steadiness bends reality to meet you. Simplicity is not weakness. It is mastery. It is the art of aligning so purely with your chosen frequency that reality bends to meet you. The universe doesn't pay attention to how tired you are. It doesn't measure the hours you've struggled or the years you've waited. It pays attention to one thing, the coherence of your signal. When your signal is scattered, the field mirrors confusion. When your signal is clear, the field mirrors precision. And that is why the greatest power always looks simple. A single laser beam can cut through steel, while scattered light barely illuminates a room. The same principle applies to you. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are scattered, your energy is dim. But when they align, they amplify into a force the universe cannot ignore. Simplicity is not doing less. It is doing only what aligns. And when you do that, the field does the rest. In quantum physics, coherence is not a metaphor. It is the difference between power and weakness. When particles vibrate in harmony, they amplify one another. They create predictable outcomes. They become a unified force. This is the principle that makes lasers possible. Ordinary light scattered in all directions is soft, unfocused, easy to ignore. But when those same light waves align in perfect coherence, they become so powerful they can cut through steel. Your energy works the same way. When your thoughts point one way, your emotions another, and your body acts from fear, you scatter your signal into the field has nothing strong enough to lock onto. But when all parts of you move together as one, your energy becomes a laser. Sharp, precise, unstoppable. This is not abstract spirituality. It is physics. And once you understand it, you stop wasting your power. You stop scattering light. You start amplifying it. That amplification is what the field responds to. And it is why coherence always outpaces effort. Most people live in fragmentation. They think one thing, feel another, and act out of fear or habit. They say, "Faye want abundance, Faye, but inside. They feel constant anxiety about bills," they declare. Faye, attract love, Faye, but their heart still carries the weight of rejection. They affirm, Faye, I'm healthy, Faye, but their body is trained in the posture of stress. This incoherence doesn't just confuse their mind, it confuses the field. It is like trying to collapse two contradictory realities at the same time. Instead of amplifying, the signals cancel each other out. That's why so many people feel stuck. They are broadcasting 1,000 mixed messages, asking for one reality while embodying another. And the field, neutral, precise, unjudging, simply mirrors back the dominant vibration. Most of the time, that vibration is doubt, fear, or lack. It's not that the universe is ignoring them. It's that they are divided against themselves, scattered within, scattered without. This is why coherence is everything, because once you unify your thoughts, emotions, and actions, once you stop scattering the signal, the quantum field responds instantly. Here's the paradox most people never see. The harder you try from a fragmented state, the weaker your signal becomes. Think of someone straining to fall asleep. The more effort they apply, the more awake they become. Why? Because the effort itself broadcasts the truth. Faye, am not asleep. Faye manifestation works the same way. The more desperately you push, the louder you declare, Faye, don't have it yet. Faye in the field, always honest, always precise. Effort born from lack never creates abundance. Effort born from fear never creates freedom. Effort born from doubt never creates certainty. This is why manifestation often feels stuck. It is not because the field is refusing you. It is because you are broadcasting contradiction, trying harder. But signaling separation, it doesn't beg. It doesn't fight. It resonates. And resonance collapses timelines without force. Manifestation is not about wishing. It is not about repeating words until your throat is dry. It is about embodiment, becoming the frequency now. When you want wealth, stop telling the story of lack. Walk like someone who already carries abundance. Make decisions from stability, not fear. Feel the calm of knowing. When you want love, Stop rehearsing loneliness. Carry yourself with openness. Speak as if connection already surrounds you. Radiate the warmth of someone who is chosen, not someone who is waiting. When you want health, stop identifying with illness. Stand taller. Breathe deeper. Choose as if the body has already restored itself. It is resonance. It is teaching your subconscious. Faye, this is who I am now. Faye, and the moment you live from that place, the quantum field has no choice but to agree. Because the field doesn't answer what you wish for. It answers what you are being. Time is one of the greatest illusions that sabotages manifestation. You say, Faye need this, by Faye it must happen before my birthday. Faye, if it doesn't arrive by then. It's not working. Faye, but the quantum field does not run on deadlines. It doesn't measure calendars. It doesn't obey clocks. It responds only to readiness. In physics, superposition means that all possibilities exist simultaneously until collapsed by observation. That means your reality already exists. It doesn't need to be built. It doesn't need more time. It only needs alignment. The timeline collapses the moment your inner state matches it. Not this is why Neville Goddard taught, Faye assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Faye, he never added. Faye by Friday. Faye because manifestation is not chronological. It is vibrational. Dropping the timeline frees you. It allows the field to deliver in the most direct, intelligent, and unexpected way possible. Not when the calendar says, but when you are tuned. Here is a truth almost no one tells you. The very first time you felt the spark of desire, it was enough. That first alignment of thought and emotion sent a complete signal into the field. The command was already delivered. But what happens next, you doubt it. You repeat it. You beg the universe to hear you. You script it over and over as if the first request didn't count. And every time you repeat it from doubt, you weaken the original signal. You turn clarity into noise. You shift from Faye, already am Faye, into Faye maybe. It didn't work. Faye, think of a radio. You don't keep shouting at the station to play the song. If you keep spinning the dial every 5 seconds, you lose the signal entirely. Manifestation works the same way. The challenge is not to keep asking. The challenge is to keep resonating with what you already asked. Your first alignment was enough. Your only job now is to hold the frequency, long enough for the field to lock in. In physics, resonance is when two systems vibrate at the same frequency, they don't need to force each other. They naturally fall into harmony. That's why a singer can shatter glass with a single note. She doesn't push. She doesn't scream. She simply holds one pure frequency. And the glass already tuned to that vibration collapses. Manifestation works in the same way. When you stop forcing and start resonating, your reality collapses into alignment just as powerfully. No strain, no struggle, no endless effort. The more coherent your signal, the faster the resonance builds. And the stronger the resonance, the more inevitable the shift becomes. This is why those who embody alignment seem to manifest instantly. It's not luck. It's not miracles. It's physics. Because the field doesn't respond to how hard you push. It responds to how clearly you resonate. Words are not just communication. They are vibration. Every time you speak with your whole being, you are programming your field. This is why idle affirmations fail. You can say the words 100 times. But if your body trembles with doubt, the field hears the tremble, not the words. But when your words carry conviction, when they rise from your chest instead of just your lips, they become quantum commands. So let's make this real. Right now, whisper or type these words. Not as a wish, not as a hope, but as a declaration. Fay, I allow it to be easy. Fay, that sentence is more than motivation. It tells the universe, Fay, I trust coherence over effort. I choose resonance over struggle. I release control. Fay, and the field always mirrors trust faster than it mirrors doubt. So let this be your command. Simple, clear, coherent. Because every word you embody is an instruction to reality. Here's a truth that bends the mind. The timeline you desire is not something you are building. It already exists. Every outcome you dream of is alive in the quantum field right now, not tomorrow. Not someday now. Those fleeting moments where you felt, feats already done. Fee were not imagination. They were glimpses. The problem is not that your future doesn't exist. The problem is that you tune out as quickly as you tune in. You feel alignment for a moment. Then the mind interrupts. Fay, it can't be this easy. Fay, and in that instant the signal drops. The quantum field never withholds from you. It simply reflects the vibration you hold in real time. Your future is not being built in front of you like bricks on a wall. You are collapsing into it with every breath, every thought, every feeling you embody. And the moment you stay tuned, long enough, steady enough, clear enough, that timeline locks in. Here's the wild paradox. The easier you allow it to be, the faster it arrives. That is why mystics across centuries spoke of detachment, not detachment from the desire itself, but from the control, the timeline, the endless effort. You are not meant to chase reality like prey. You are meant to invite it like gravity. You don't beg gravity to pull the apple from the tree. You simply wait until the fruit is heavy enough with possibility, and then it falls. Your manifestation works the same way. The fruit is already ripening. The pull of alignment is already active. The fall is inevitable once the vibration matches. So every time you surrender control, you are not giving up. You are speeding up. Every release of resistance is a quantum acceleration. Every letting go is an opening for the field to deliver. Surrender is not weakness. It is the highest form of intelligence. This is the secret most people never see. You are not creating your future. You are remembering it. Every version of you already exists in the quantum field. The wealthy you, the loved you, the healed you, the unstoppable you. They are not waiting to be built. They are waiting to be chosen. And the moment you embody coherence, you collapse into them. It is not about proving yourself worthy. It is not about chasing what is missing. It is about remembering what has always been true. Because every doubt delays, and every moment of surrender accelerates. The universe is not testing you. It is responding to you. Not someday, not later. Now, so let this be your activation. Take these words not as theory, but as a command to your reality. Fay, I already am. Fay, that is the frequency of power. That is the signal, the field, that is the vibration that bends time itself. You are not waiting for your reality. Your reality is waiting for you. And the moment you stop forcing, the moment you start resonating, life rearranges around your coherence. This is why manifestation has always felt mysterious. because people complicate what was designed to be simple. The quantum doesn't reward struggle, it rewards clarity. So carry this truth with you. Less effort, more resonance. Less asking, more being. Less noise, more coherence. And watch as life itself becomes a continuous quantum shift. Not a dream you chase, but a frequency you live. Because everything you desire is already here.